everyone, and welcome. My name's Tom Fowle. Today we're going to be taking a look at the board game The Initiative from Corey Konecka. If I butchered that, I am so sorry. And Unexpected Games. In 1994, 4 teenagers find a mysterious game at a yard sale. As they play it, they discover it is strangely connected to their lives. What will they risk to unravel the secrets of the blank initiative? Embark on a unique journey of discovery puzzle strategy that's unlike any board game you've ever experienced. That is their description. Ages 8+, 1 to 4 players. Each game takes about 30 to 60 minutes, and let's get into the review, shall we? Now, normally I'd like to show you a little bit more about it, show you some more details, but I don't want to spoil anything, so most of it's going to be my pretty face and maybe some images that pop up here and then about it. I just got this game about a week ago, and I'm already through the it's about 14 mission campaign. I blew right through this because now I played this with my mother. She's almost 65, and so we have an age gap. We have a strategy, like a little bit of a mental gap. There's not really a nice way of wording that. Mom falls more into the family games side. I love Deduction. I absolutely love Deduction. This has strong code breaking mechanics, and by golly, we fell in love with this. It's absolutely cooperative. We both found moments where we were both like the big savior of the day, like the big like quarterback hero at the end of the day. And ooh, hello, strange girl. Should edit that out, but I might leave that in there because it's like, hello, Carl, how are you doing? But yeah, so both of us absolutely love this. Now, the gameplay itself boils down to you need to find a key phrase, a sequence of numbers, and you find out a little bit more. You read your guidebook, that's comic book style. And it'll tell you to play a mission, and you'll get a mission card. You set up the board, you set up little chitlets that have either glyphs on the backside or traps all face down along the board. And now you play a card game in which you have a hand of 4 cards, and these cards have 3 different colors with numbers 1 through 12. You have 4 options in the game. You have run, which you can move up to 3 spaces on the board. You can gather, where you can collect up to 2 of those little chitlets from the space you're in. There's intel, where you can pick any room and you can look at up to 2 things. Or there is regroup, and we'll get into why that's important here in a second. So what you do is each of those starts at a 0, meaning you need to play 1 above it, or a minimum 1 above it, to be able to take that action. So I have my hand of 4 cards, and whoever volunteers to go first is the first player. And now this isn't I don't know if I'm comfortable going first. This is, if you got some low cards, you might want to be the one who goes first. Like I'm sitting on all this. And another rule of the game, you are not supposed to ever say exactly what is in your hand. The end of the main goal is each mission you are trying to come up with a key phrase, series of numbers, all off of this mission council. Now, I had a personal bad experience right out of the box where I didn't have a mission council. Like I had part of a broken piece of plastic and nothing else. But within a few days, so I reported that on Friday, and Unexpected Games was really good about helping me out in the interim with a version that we ended up using over the weekend. And then on Monday, my friendly local game store was like, hey, we got a replacement in for you. It's like, yay! Like that was a really quick turnaround, which was interesting because they sold out of this game immediately. I am rambling. But so that was our little negative side to start with this, but needless to say, we still like this game so much that we played a lot of it over the weekend, even without this mission council. But every time you gather one of the glyphs, you take a look and see if that matches anything on the mission council. If it does, you flip it up, and you'll get a letter or a number or something underneath it to help you solve the puzzle. It's the puzzles at times feel a little, I would say, Wheel of Fortune-esque of like, but of course I'm not calling out a certain letter. And the nice thing is no symbol, so it'll always be one symbol to one thing, or like one glyph to one thing. So it's like, okay, if I've already I've already got an E in this puzzle somewhere, I know it's not gonna pop up under something else. So that there are specific rules that help with the deduction that make a ton of sense. And I'm just gushy on this game. I really like it. The storybook's really cute. But yeah, going back, so you have to play at least one above. But how do you discard? Like how? Oh, okay, I told you the cards go up to 12. How do we clear this? That is where the regroup action comes in handy, where I need to play like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Onto that, I can clear any one except for the regroup action off. I can clear a stack off of that, goes into the discard pile. But you're never supposed to say exactly what is in your hand. It kind of helps with the table captaining issue, which I'm a big fan of. Where it's after a while we were kind of talking our own code of. And a lot of times with table captaining stuff with myself and my mom, we work around the rules a little bit just for clarity's sake for both of us. Because I mean, like with vision problems, stuff like that, it's like I can't quite tell it's there, or would forget. It's like, oh, can I play the same number on it? It's like, well, no, but now I know what's in your hand, but I'm just gonna keep that out of mind. Like we play like, all right, do you got stuff that's kind of lower, middle, high, is what we would typically try to do. There was a few little what we would say oopsie poopsies of like, well, I got the same number, like, oh, no, I'm not supposed to know it, but hey, it happens, right? Not a big deal at the end of the day. You go until either one of two things happen. Either at any point, you as a group can all agree to take a guess. You have one shot, and this has provided the most entertaining, stressful moments ever. Even fairly early on in the campaign, where we're like, all right, we're 99% certain we have this. Like, we're missing maybe a letter. I don't think we're wrong. We still felt tense because it's like you have one shot at it, and it's like, oh, if maybe I was thinking one way, and maybe it's something else. But you pull the card out and you see, and if you're right, you win. If you lose, you lost. But in the story side on the campaign, you will still move on, win or lose. The story may change a little bit. Things could happen along the way. Once again, I'm trying not to spoil. So you find out if you win or lose. There is a second way you can lose, and this is where the game gets really, really good. So you have a deck of cards. As I said, they go 1 to 12, 3 different suits. So once you run at the end of your turn, so you can take 1 or 2 actions, then you draw back up to 4 cards. If that draw deck runs out, you now take everything in the discard pile plus these 4 time cards. Shuffle them all back in. You flip over the discard pile to what is now called in peril. I feel like Dr. Evil. In peril. And now you have to take 1 action if you are able to. You do not need to draw cards, and you might not want to, because if you draw a card and it is one of those time cards, you immediately put it in the discard pile, doesn't go into your hand. And if you ever get 3 time symbols, it is game over instantly. You don't even get a final crack at it. Now it's like, oh, okay, I can draw 2 cards. That's no biggie. No, one of those blue cards has 2 time symbols on it. Which is like, no. So even if I draw 1, the next one could be that evil 2 card, and it's just game over instantly. Or if you draw the 2 right away, it's now, oh, the next blue card we draw. So this is where using that regroup to get more stuff into the discard pile is very beneficial. Because you want to get your discard stacked for when that flips back over and everything's shuffled back in. So you have to be very, very cautious about your turns. Now, the one downside of that is I learned that rule watching the Watch It Play, the Rodney Smith channel of the 3 symbols. But if you look at the card itself that tells you how you lose, it says 3 time cards, not 3 symbols. There was a little bit of a mix up on that, which it's kind of my one little knock towards this game. But otherwise, this is a really good game. So yeah, my 2 downside was I had an issue with a copy that came in, but it was corrected very, very quickly. And even a roundabout way of playing it was handed to me very quick, and we played it. So I can't fault them. Great customer service at the end of the day. And the other one was that card on that where it said 3 time cards, not 3 time symbols. But yes, seeing we learned elsewhere, that's gonna be my tiny little beef. But let's get into the actual gameplay itself. The gameplay is fine. Using the numbers to move around. I'm not gonna go into spoilers. But obviously 3 different colors. More stuff may come. It will. It absolutely will, and it is brought in slowly enough that it's not too terrible. It's a very nice ramp up of rules, and it's not everything is dumped on you at once. So even like learning it later on, it's like, oh, okay, now we've got this, so we pay attention to this. Okay, this is cool. It wasn't too hard to pick up. And oh my goodness, the code breaking on this, I absolutely fell in love with. Now I grew up watching like Wheel of Fortune, and I love trivia. I love that sort of thing, and I have a very like sequence oriented mind. So this was right up our alley. Because it was like even my mom with Wheel of Fortune stuff. It's like, oh yeah, it's got to be something like this, or she was figuring out words faster than I was. She'd figure out a word, I would immediately be able to try to correlate it to something else, and oh, it's so good. And not wanting to spoil anything else, there's just codes on top of codes. You got to scramble. Oh, it's so well put together. And even though I say I'm done with the campaign, we can keep playing. Post campaign. Spoiler, there is a post campaign. And I guess on legacy style games, campaign style games, that's something you kind of want to know going in. Because remember, first time playing like Pandemic Legacy, it was something that kind of bothered me at the end. It's like, hey, I just spent like $70 on a game that we're playing through one time and we're done. That's it. We had a wonderful experience, and I'm not shying away, but it's like, I'm throwing this box out. Or I could keep it on my shelf somewhere, but it's done. Ooh, where with this one, it's like, no, once it's done, there is post campaign to it, and it's like, okay, awesome. I'm a big fan of this. I mean, I'm already gushing about everything else, and I absolutely fell in love with this game. So, big things, cooperative. It has code breaking, easy to play, with any group, especially when it comes to level of complexity. I would still recommend watching the good old Watch It Play video for the how to play. The rules aren't that complicated. It is you read the comic book till it tells you to stop, or then go play a mission. That's it. You set it up based on the card, carefully slide the card in, so little tiles on the back, right way down. You flip up when you find them, and at any point, pause, take a guess. That's the game in a nutshell, and I love this. It was so good. I don't know if I'm currently in the honeymoon phase of this, but like after like we were halfway through, Mom and I were just both like, man, this probably just cracked my top 10 games. Especially my co-op list, which I was working on my top 10 co-op games list. We started playing this and I was like, I'm gonna wait a little while, get past this like new game high feel from it just to make sure I still want it on my list. But I got a feeling it's gonna be on my top 10 because I really like this game. So I think I know most people who do reviews gives a rating. I'm just gonna say I recommend it. I at some point should come up with a scale for you. We'll give it like a 4 out of 5, 9 out of 10. And I only have to dock it because of my personal issue with it coming in, but customer service was great. Still, life happens, but I'm gonna dock it. It's fair. To me it's fair, and I'll fight you otherwise. But yeah, I'd give it like 4 out of 5, 9 out of 10, and it's the small little hiccup of with what happened with mine, and then on top of it, the time card rule was the only thing that didn't feel the most clear. Because as I said, if I would have watched the video or watched the watch it played on it, and then used that actual card itself that says 3 time cards, like, okay, something is off. Or like even in my head early on, I would have been, oh, maybe there's a rule coming later on that would tell me that it's the symbols instead. But yeah, no, that's not the case. So I'll dock it slightly for that. The artwork is great. The story's cute. It's fun. We both got into it. We're kind of curious. It almost like it wasn't happening directly to us, but like everything in there, and especially it's like the game is strangely connected to their own lives. It's right in their description of this game. It started creeping us out too. It's like, oh, this is perfect. I like this. And then yeah, I'm gushing because I like deduction games. I really do. You throw in co-ops, you throw in code breaking, and it's like, oh, this is right in my wheelhouse. So yeah, that is our review talking about the Blank Initiative. Once again from Unexpected Games. I highly recommend it. Go find yourself a copy. But hey, thank you for watching this rambling review of the Initiative. I have been your host, Tom Fowle, here on the Radio Tom channel. Hey, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or the other way if you didn't. That lets me know I might need to work on things a little bit, and that's okay too. Comment down below if you've given this game a shot, or if you have any other questions about it whatsoever, maybe something I missed. Throw it down there. I will avoid spoilers in the comment section, and please avoid spoilers in the comment section. I don't want to ruin this experience for anyone else if we can help it. And hey, consider subscribing to the channel for more board game, video game, comedy, random bits of content here at the Radio Tom channel. And until next time, thanks. Bye.